So the other day, I watched My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Now, I don't really know why I decided to watch it. I guess it was just more of like a curiosity thing, and I don't know, maybe it had something to do with the pure crystal meth that I smoked. I smoked some really good, fine, pure blue shit earlier that day, but I think it was more having to do with the fact that I'm gay. Yeah, I think it was because I'm gay. But anyway, I don't know. I've heard a number of people talking about this show, and it's like, everyone gives everything a try in life, right? I mean, it's kind of like I ranked watching the show up there with doing things like, like what every boy would do at some point in their life when they see a mouse trap. They often wonder, how much will it hurt if I stuck my penis in the mouse trap? And I remember the first time I did that, years ago. I've been doing it ever since. But the first time that I stuck my penis in a mouse trap, it never feels the same as that first time. It's like, boy, is this gonna hurt? Is it gonna feel good? And then you stick your penis in there, and boom, it slams down. You're like, whoa, ow, ow, ow. And then you realize it's like oh, it's weird because it's like clamped on, and then you realize if you swing back and forth, it makes like a clapping sound with the wood and the flesh and the metal, and you're like, wow, that's a pretty cool sound, and it's hard to duplicate that sound doing anything else in life other than having a mouse trap, like the wooden and the metal one, attached to your penis. Anyway, we all get to the point where we try that, guys, and girls, you can, I don't know, it's kind of tough if you don't have a penis. But anyway, I went ahead and I watched the show. Like I said, we all got to try, things that we think are, dumb or silly or stupid. Like this show, back when I was a kid, actually I was like in my 20s when this show first came out, because I'm 65 right now. So when this show first came out in, I guess it was like 1970 or something like that, there was only little girls watching this show, like little preteen girls, and they were collecting the little pony figurines, and any boy that was seen watching this, the parents would just basically drag them in the streets, and the neighbors would just stone the kid to death. And it was just something. It was like a nice thing. A lot of the parents deliberately waited on busting their kids. Waited till like the summertime, like they waited till like 4th of July and stuff. It was like a nice activity because everyone's out having a picnic already. It's like, oh, Billy just got spotted watching My Little Pony. Let's take him out to the street and stone him to death. And it was a good time. I mean, I remember handing children rocks to throw at the kid that was caught. But anyway, that's just what happens with little boys when they break the rules of life. But now that I'm an adult, I feel that I can watch this, and I watched it back then when I was an adult, and I figured this show now, even though it may still be geared towards children, can be something that I can enjoy as an adult. And I gotta say, a lot of this stuff is more adult themed. The episode I watched was called Mop Flop Gets a Red Rocket. And I was like, well, I'm kind of intrigued just from the title of this episode alone. And I was like, what's Mop Flop and what's a Red Rocket? And by the end of the episode, we're gonna find out. But we'll take it one step at a time because there's a lot of things that happened up to this point. Apparently, the story focused around two male pony characters called Mop Flop and Diggly Wop. They were two male ponies in a world of female ponies. And it was just very weird because all the ponies had very childlike minds, they didn't act adult. One of the female ponies had her period, and since there was no adult ponies around, they had no one to explain what that was. And seeing all the ponies get together and just completely mutilate the pony that had her period because they saw her as an outcast, some sort of demon spawn, I thought that was fantastic. The blood and the gore on that looked really good. It was almost whoa, am I watching a cartoon? This looks like, any number of times that I've seen, a pony just get ripped to shreds in real life. It looked just like that. But anyway, Mop Flop and Diggly Wop, whatever the fuck their name was, I don't even remember them now. Mop Flop supposedly was on a quest to find a red rocket. I don't know, something came to him in a dream. It was like a premonition or some shit. And Diggly-Wop apparently knew how to do it, but he was being quiet about it, and he said, like, I'll show you later on tonight. And I'm like, oh great, we gotta wait till the nighttime to find out what the fuck the Red Rocket is. So anyways, the episode featured like all their adventures throughout this day, and it was some pretty cool shit. At one point they ran into a group of Terminators that were just doing all sorts of crazy things. Usually Terminators like to, kill people left and right because they're cybernetic organisms, or I guess you can't really be a cybernetic organism, but cybernetic machines set on world conquest to kill all the human organisms. But anyways, these Terminators, for whatever reason, operated strip clubs. And like what the strip club would be is just a Terminator like ripping off its skin and stuff, and like it would be down just like to the metal frames, and the other Terminators would be like woo woo shooting guns in the air and stuff, and I'm just like, that's pretty weird, but it in theory would make sense. Like, if they eventually started thinking like a human, then their clothing would be the fake skin that they have. So I mean, think about that. They're eventually going to have to get to the point where they start developing human-like tendencies and yearnings. They're going to want to see themselves strip. So I'll admit that I got hard watching this. I really shouldn't have, but I don't know. Maybe it was because it was male robots doing this, and the fact that I'm gay probably had a lot to do with that. But anyway, for whatever reason, they didn't kill the two Diggly-Wops and Jigglypuff and whatever the fuck their name was when they were watching this, and I was kind of disappointed because I was expecting to see some more pony carnage there, but it was a good thing because we got to find out what the Red Rocket was. And they just kept walking around. They were just walking through towns, and it was like just normal stuff that you would see in towns. It was just like dogs pushing shopping carts, little babies just being lit on fire and just being kicked, like just being kicked like little footballs. It was so adorable because that's one of the things about being a baby is pretty much anything that you do with a baby, it's adorable. It was weird. It was just like just an entire town of people just kicking flaming babies. It was amazing. Now, they did cover some of the special powers that these ponies have. Like, each one has like a little symbol on their ass, and they have like this special power that they shoot out of their ass. And I mean, one of the ponies, they had a weird power. It was like the power of just being indecisive, and like they saw like a group of kids waiting on an ice cream truck. And the horse just like, was like, oh, I'm going to play a joke on these kids. I'm going to make them indecisive. And the horse shoots its magical ray at the kids waiting for the ice cream truck. And like the one girl trying to get the ice cream is like, I want vanilla. No, I want chocolate. No, I want vanilla. And then much like anything else, like when you get too indecisive, like shit just explodes. And the ice cream truck just goes just blows, and you see one of the kids just barreling through the air, and they just hit the sun and just goes just nice little. It was really good CGI. I mean, it's just like when that pony got mutilated for having her period. It just the kids just went just blew out all over the neighborhood. It was so cool. So anyways, Jigglypuff and Diggly-Wop and whatever the hell their names were, they finally, it's nighttime. They're back at Diggly-Wop's place at his personal barn, and they had to walk through all the towns to get there. And Jigglypuff lays Diggly-Wop down on his back, and like he's got all feet in the air, and he's like, "You ready to find out what a red rocket is?" And Diggly-Wop's like, "Yep." So Jigglypoop slides his arms down his stomach, and like kind of gets like by the side of the hips, and then starts sliding the hoofs in and starts moving them up and down, and I forget what else happened. True story.